Thank you, thank you, thank you for you guys sharing as well. So now let's talk about the YOP 501c3. We have our incorporation here in the state of California. Edith, you may need to mute your mic, babe,
Oh, sorry.
because you got a lot of background noise. Thank you. Yes. So again, we have been incorporated since I believe the effective date was sometime in March. I have to pull it up to really see. So it's official. I'm excited that we were able to, and it was a goal of mine, and I shared this goal last year in the General Assembly that I wanted to have it filed and completed by the end of the year. It took a couple of months after, but it was close. I try to be a woman of my word. When I say something publicly, I try to make sure that I deliver, and that's what I was working towards delivering. I thank Sister Reverend Bianca for helping me to get it going, connecting me with the right individual to help us file it here in the state of California. So it is official. So with that said, along with creating the board or the 501c3, we have to have bylaws. We have to have officers, board members, and advisory board members are just an addition to what we're going to be offering because I have some individuals that are have been selected to be advisory board members that are very close and dear to me as far as and not only by their my relationship with them, but also realizing their expertise and what they bring to the table. So it's good to have those individuals that will ride along with us to help us make decisions. We have to have a little legal eye, and a little knowledge or additional knowledge to help us make decisions. And I'm thankful that I'm connected to all of you to so that we can get this together, get it going, get it initiated, get it rolled out, and also get it moving forward with the program that we set up for our youth. So I worked on the bylaws, and I like for you guys to take a look at them this week. I'm going to email them to you, and it's just a draft. It's nothing etched in stone as of yet. We want to get your opinions, but Bishop Bobby would like to see a copy of our bylaws, and I promised him that I would bring them with me to the assembly. So I asked, and I'm going to send it to you either tonight or tomorrow for sure. I ask that you get it back to me, your suggestions, your comments, or whatever the case is, by the weekend so that I can have it locked and ready to go and ready to travel with me when I leave next Wednesday to go to the assembly. So share your thoughts, your recommendations, whatever question, ask, and whatever questions that you may have. Pick up the phone and give me a call this week if you like, so that we can chat about what concerns or questions or whatever that you may have. If you think of more that you don't share with us this evening. Um, so with that said, the introduction of our officers, which will be our president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, and that will be myself as the president. Reverend Derek is going to be the vice president, and we have Reverend Tamaris that's going to be our secretary. But I'm changing that title to executive assistant because I realize the importance of having someone on your administrative team that is going to be doing a lot more than just being a secretary. Is going to be helping us, with program initiatives and things like that. So secretary will go away and we'll have the executive assistant, but also in that role, Reverend Tamaris will also be an advisory board member with the others as we're going to name in a moment. So sitting on our board, and we have commitment from Sister Crystal, we have commitment from Elder Kenneth, we have commitment from Trustee Jeremiah, Ricardo, we have commitment from Sister Edith. We have commitment from Sister Janae. So right as of right now, those are our board members that have committed. I'm looking for a total of 8. I want our whole team to be 12 to represent the 12 tribes of Israel. So um, I did invite Elder James Lathan. I haven't heard back from him. Not sure if he's going to join us or not, but we'll see. But if not, I'm looking to fill all 8 seats for as a board member. Elder James also spoke about being our treasurer. And if you sit on the officer side, it can overlap, and you can also sit in a position on the board of director side as well. So we'll see what happens with that. If not, I will be looking for a treasurer. If you have any recommendations, let me know, but it has somebody that we can rely on, and you definitely have to commit to the role in every situation. We want you all to commit to this position that you've um, well committed to, or acknowledge that you would like to sit in that seat. Because with that said, in the bylaws, you'll see that our board of directors will be elected for a period of 3 years. That could be changed as well if we need to, make it less or more, whatever the case is. But, I like in working in threes and sevens and stuff like that. So I thought maybe 3 years will be a good term, and then you can decide if you want to move forward with us when your limit comes about, or if you want to stay on. So that would be up to you. But we have to vote on things like that to replace board members and things like that. So you're locked in, guys, for 3 years. Those of you that have committed. So I just want you to know that. So. And then on the advisory board side of the business, we have Elder Joe, who is, because when I was reading about setting up a board membership and stuff like that, that your spouse really shouldn't be on the board, because you can have situation personal issues amongst each other and bring it to the board, and it things may not pan out too well. So I thought maybe that I'll let him sit in the role as advisory board member, and we can tap into his expertise. And he's always available to me, and also to anything that we initiate. So I know that he's gonna be a great fill-in where we need it. We can go to him for any particular advice that his expertise lies in, and he'll be able to help us out in any way that I know that he will. And then we have Grandmother Valerie, who is also an expert in her field, real estate or whatever. When we start buying properties, she's going to be able to help us when we need buildings or whatever the case is, or even just tapping into her knowledge. She helps us out right now. She's currently, managing the money piece of it, all of for YOP. But once we get our bank account set up, the money is going to be deposited into the bank account, and then she's always willing to help us in anything that we go about. So she is a good reference for us, and a good someone to tap into. And I'm very thankful to have the both of them that I can rely on and go to and gain advice from, and so on and so forth. And then our other advisory board member who's new to, and I thought about a junior level advisory board member, but I'm not going to limit it to just junior knowledge, because he has more knowledge than just on a junior level. So, and that's Reverend Tamara's Darby. So again, he's going to sit on both sides as an advisory board member, and also our executive assistant. Okay, and then we have our legal B, which is Reverend Grandmother Bianca, who's always willing to help us to make sure that we're compliant with anything that we do. All our paperwork, anything that we need to tap into her with, any legal advice. She's going to do that for us, and we thank her for offering her expertise in legal and helping us be compliant in things that we need to be compliant. So, with that said, and I think that covers everyone as far as advisory and the board members. Each of you brings something to the table that's just awesome. I know Sister Edith has sat on a board before, and I think you may still be a current board member for an
Yes.
organization, and she has the background. She's CEO of corporations, and you all bring something dynamic to the table. Reverend Kimberly Brown, she had her doctorate degree, and she works with us. She's also the president of our scholarship committee. And then she, she's one of our tutors, our expert tutors. And Sister Edith also is one of our tutors as well. So you all have knowledge that you bring to the table. Trustee Jeremiah, Trustee Ricardo, being in the role of leading the junior deacons. We want to be able to. I wanted to include him, not only because he's my nephew, but also I wanted him to be a part of this because he has I think he should have input as to what the junior deacons are doing as well, because we want to make sure that, because these are our junior deacons as well. So we want his input as he leads and guides the junior deacon board and be able to assist him with anything that he needs assistance with. And then we have Elder Kenneth Page, who is my other nephew. That's just, his knowledge and spiritual being and experience, his authoritarian position, being on the police force and being in the military, and then his other expertise that he could bring to the board. And working with him is great. And he has offered to us his children that is a part of our YOP, and also just being able to advise us. So he's a great one to tap into as well, and we thank him as well. And then we have who's that? Sister Janae. That is our YOP president at Temple Number One, and still getting to know her because she's a little younger than me, so I know of her parents, but I'm getting to know her as an adult. She has children that's also participating in YOP, and she's helping to revamp YOP at Michigan Temple Number One. So I know that she'll be able to bring a lot to the table, and I'm confident that she would bring a lot to the table and be able to offer to us what we need to offer in her respective role. And then we have Sister Crystal, who has worked with us. And Crystal and I go back to when YLP was first um, created back in the day, and she was the president at our Fort Lauderdale temple. And we have worked together since then, and she has worked with us on the YLP, moving us forward, helping us to move forward. And I'm very thankful for her to be a part of it, although she's a cosmetologist. And a great one, a good one at that. I wish she was closer to us. We wouldn't have to,
Mhm.
but she's great. She has a great network of individuals that we can tap into, and I'm just thankful for her expertise as well and joining us and being a willing force to want to join us. So, with that said, I think that covers everyone. Did I leave anyone out? Reverend Derek. How could I forget Reverend Derek? Reverend Derek, you still there? Where you go? He went to get something to eat. Oh, he waving. Reverend Derek, we have been, well, let me go back because when he was a little boy, when they were living in New York, we got to be really close to the family, even though we've always been close to Lynette growing up in the church and stuff like that. But we really got close when they were living in New York. And then as he grew into adulthood, he's I say he's one of the busiest men in the spiritual church in his army. But I'm very thankful to have him on my team. And we don't always agree, but he doesn't give me any heartache, or if I'm wrong, he'll come back, and or I can come back and admit that I was wrong, or whatever the case is. But I'm thankful he's a sounding board. He's willing to do whatever we ask him to do, and he's been riding this train with me with IOP and getting it to where it is today. So I'm very, very, very thankful for him, and just seeing him grow within the spiritual church in his army in a minister role and also with Bible Peace. Thank you, Reverend Derek. I love you. I love you all. And so that's it for as far as what I wanted to talk about tonight. Now I'm gonna open it to the group. So we're gonna have a little round table discussion. I know I said that I was gonna try to keep you too long, but our exercise went a little over, but I think it was needed. And I really appreciate it. You guys sharing your truths and your lies. And I thought it was a fun exercise for us. So, but I'm gonna leave it open. You guys chime in. Let me know. You raise your hand. Let us know if you want to have any questions or any suggestions or anything that we could talk about right now. The floor is open.
Hi, I just like to say that I just want to congratulate Mother Pam on creating this 501c3. You know, when she first put it out there, I didn't know. I didn't just didn't know. You know, especially with the philosophy of the spiritualism church and its army and trying to stay away from things like that. And she was able to make a case for YOP to the king and got his permission, and then she was full steam ahead. So um, I'm a believer. I'm a believer, and I truly think that this is not only going to be challenging, but it's going to be a lot of fun to see uh, where YOP is going to go. So I just want to congratulate Pam for sticking with it and not taking no and making things happen.
Thank you. Thank you. Sister Janae, come on in. You got your hand up.
I want to say how proud and happy I am to hear of the 501c3. It's definitely going to be a life changer for the church, period. You know, how that's going to help us expand and grow and draw people in. So I'm very proud and happy to be a part of this and appreciate the opportunity. I also want to pitch the idea of a temple versus temple flag football game during the General Assembly. I just, want to throw that out there and see if we can use that as a fundraiser or maybe a celebration accomplishment. And I just want to see what everybody thought of that.
Do you guys remember the year that we had the basketball tournament? And we brought our team from New York.
The sound is going in and out.
Oh,
I'd also like to just add she meant flag football because I only got one or two times to get tackled in my life before
I ain't
flag
doing that no more.
football.
Yeah, I'm not doing that no more, Reverend Dare. I'm not getting tackled no more.
Can you guys hear me, or am I still breaking up?
You're fading out, Pam.
Oh, sorry. Connection
Come
back here in
in.
this room. You're still not hearing me?
It's just a little light.
Oh, okay. Let me talk a little louder. My headphones. Okay. All right. So, someone else want to say something while I get geared up on my headphone?
So I guess I'll say something. I am really excited about this. Today actually being YOP Sunday at our temple, and we had Bishop Edwards there to do the quarterly report. And so one of the things that he wanted to make sure that we did for the youth is that of course they said their scriptures, and we basically have, we've got maybe 4, and they range in age from like 3 to the oldest is like 7. But he said when they got up to do their scriptures, for us to start working on making sure that they introduce themselves and who their pastor is and their assistant pastor. And then, they can say their scriptures or speak on the lesson or whatever, because he wanted to make a point that we wanted to train them up to be young leaders, which was the YOP theme for the month also. And then he wanted to make sure that we actually read the youth because since they're so little, we hadn't really been reading, and we would just say, ask the parents to read to their, read it. And but he wanted to make a point that we in church that we would read the YOP lesson every YOP Sunday. So I say that just to say, you know, that might be something that we want to make sure that we are making, you know, getting to the churches and sending that message also. And I'm sure that we could get Bishop behind that too. Since he made a point of saying that Bishop wants us to make sure that the young people are learning and growing up to be young leaders. And that was one way to start doing that. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Thanks for your feedback, Sister Edith. And this is something that I'm going to be petitioning for the YOP presidents to do going forward. And I've been talking about it. It hasn't fully caught on yet because I thank you guys at number one. And I got to tune into your service this morning, and I heard you speak, Sister Janae, but no one read the YOP topic. We've been doing it.
We did.
Oh,
did.
okay. My apologies then, because when I tuned in,
Lisa did.
she read the YOP topic.
Now listen, I went up there.
Okay.
You're breaking up, Janae. Yes. So Sister Lalisa, she read it. She read it, and then the youth came up and spoke.
She went on and she read it. Yep. She read it before I could get up there. Yep. So then she called me up after she read it.
Oh,
but she read it.
Okay, thanks for the correction. My apologies. I know when I tuned in, she was speaking about, she was calling on the youth to get up and talk. They could testify or speak on the theme. That's what I heard. I didn't hear mention of YOP or anything, but I did hear her say that, you know, she was part of YOP at the beginning, and she really was back in the day. So my apologies to you guys. But that is something that we have done and always done in Manhattan, and it's something that we're doing in Compton today. Sister Daughter Zion and Train and Lyric, who so eloquently read it for us yesterday, and she came back today and read it for us again. So we want to make sure that that gets filtered down to the other YOP local temples so that they are practicing, they are reading the YOP topic, they are having the youth come up and speak on the topic or the church topic or whatever the case is, but they are acknowledging the topic on second Sunday. So yes, thank you.
So I know that a lot of churches do it. Like Detroit, Ipsy, we do it every Sunday. We still do the YOP song, Open the Doors for the Children. So with is this something that you're trying to implement across all of Israel? Just make it plain that all churches read the YOP theme on Sundays, make sure everybody introduces assistant pastor, temple. That's something that you want to get done in all churches and not just have some churches doing it, some churches not.
Yes, I would like for every church on second Sunday to have the YOP theme read, whether they have youth at that temple or not, and have the youth speak on it, especially those that aren't tuning into our virtual workshops. You know, I like for the local temples to be more involved in our topics. So yes, and that's the communication that I'm filtering down to all of the YOP presidents to get it going by June. Hopefully everyone will be comfortable with doing it or be set up to do it so that they'll know going forward that that is something that we like to have happen on the second Sunday. Also, we want them to start pouring into the local YOP donating. You know, if I know in Compton and in Manhattan, we donate all month long, you know, not just for the second Sunday, but if they get used to donating at least for the second Sunday, then they'll think about YOP. They'll say, oh, let me add something to YOP because those youth really showed out last Sunday or in that workshop and stuff like that. So we really want them to get used to pouring into our youth and supporting our youth. So yes. Sister Crystal, you have your hand up.
Yes, Janae, if you can get your sound corrected, I would like to hear about your company a little bit, what it is that you do.
I'm sorry, Sister Crystal, because yours was breaking up, so I didn't quite hear the question.
Your company, the company that you have, and what exactly is it that you do?
What do I do? As a
Yeah,
professional, my professional career right now, I'm a delay analyst for Rocket Mortgage. So I do not have my own business as of
you do.
yet, but
What is it?
I do look to actually launch a candle business.
I thought you did some marketing.
I look to actually launch a candle business this fall.
But don't you have a marketing
No,
company?
I
You got a bad signal.
um
Your signal worse than mine.
business administration in college.
But I thought you had a
No,
marketing
ma'am, I
company.
do not.
Why
Is
did I
is
think
that is
that?
that what Kiki
No, ma'am,
does?
I do not. I think maybe you had me confused with sister. No, she might have me confused with Janae Sims. She has a consulting business.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Janae
yeah,
okay,
Sims,
yeah.
but
okay.
Singleton. That's shit. Janae Ward is from the Holyfield family. At
Wait,
yes,
number one.
Oh,
Janae
okay.
Wade.
yes.
I'm sorry.
or it's
And I'm
Holyfield
sorry.
now?
Now my name is back Janae Holyfield. I'm Janae Holyfield now. I got
Okay.
a divorce. My name's Janae
All right.
Holyfield. We're gonna
Okay,
let
okay.
Wade go.
Yeah, Crystal's
Okay.
Crystal's thinking about Janae from the Singleton family.
I was.
Correct. She
Yeah,
has a consulting business. So no, that
HR
is not me.
consultant business.
She
Correct.
that
That's not
yeah.
not me. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm a delay analyst for Rocket Mortgage.
Well,
That's
that's
good
good
to
too.
know.
Yeah.
All
Mhm.
right. Yep. Yep. Anyone else?
You know, and I know it might be extra work, but what would help with that as well is if on second Sunday if you could have an actual physical program, so they can go by the program because some temples just forget to say it's just not in their routine. It's just not
Right.
something that they do.
Right.
So I know that they have a physical. I don't even know who does it. Who does it at number one, but they have a physical program that they do, and they coordinate with Janae when she's supposed to come in and talk about the YOP. And so
Reverend
actually,
Camp does the programs at number one.
Reverend Kim. Okay.
Yes.
And I think since I've been there in the past 2 years, it's really started accelerating, especially since some of the successful events that Janae has put together
Right.
for number one. So they're making a point to do that. But I think that would help at each temple if there was an actual physical program,
Mm-hmm.
and that way you can also plug in young people to do certain things. And I used to do in Chicago, and I used to call them up that week and say, "Hey, I want your child to do this, and I want your child to do that," and 50% of the time they would come.
Right. Well, we used to
It
do in
was,
Manhattan. The young people ran the service.
yep.
From beginning to they turned it over to the YOP president, and then the YOP president turned it over to me, and we turned it back to the deacons. So that's something that I would like to see happen as well, to get them used to learning how to run the service. Trustee Ricardo, with your junior deacons, getting them more involved, helping them to learn the opening, the Israel prayer and the Lord's prayer and all like that. That's an exercise that we can work with our youth. And if they practice it on the second Sunday, I believe that it'll help them in the long run and to continue on. So that's something that I like to see happen as well, that the youth actually run the service. And naturally, we know that to be a youth instructor, the individual should be 18. So naturally, we wouldn't have a youth do the youth instruction, but we will have them read everything, even the scriptures, let them practice so that they can get used to speaking in public. That has helped our YOP in New York. All of those that are in their 30s and 40s now, like Trustee Ricardo and all of them that grew up together, they were all very shy, and they all have testimonies now how YOP helped them to get over their shyness to be able to speak in public. So
Yeah.
we want them to practice as much as possible. All right, so anyone else? Please let me hear from some others with some ideas, suggestions, or just a comment before we close out. And then I'm gonna ask for a volunteer to pray us out. I always have someone to pray for us at the end of our meeting. So we got a lot of reverends on, we got some elders on, we got some hitters on with us that I know that they can deliver a prayer. And that Reverend Derek prayed a prayer for us the other night. Oh my God, he did his thing. So I would have him come back, but I wouldn't, you know, I want to give somebody an opportunity, but you did that. You did that for sure. So anyone else?
Before we pray, do we
Um,
have any marketing specialists on? No? Okay.
That's what we got to continue to look for someone with marketing. Tamaris, do you have any marketing background?
Ish, I'm pretty like familiar on, you know, when it comes to doing money, but also when it comes to pretty much public relations and different
Okay.
things like that. Because for the Ann Arbor YMCA, as I'm on the board, I serve on the board, but I'm also on. We have a second part where we pretty much deal with just like our public image and everything, you know, that we do. So I, you know, I have some experience, you know, working with that for image branding and whatnot.
Okay, cool.
that's good.
Okay.
I would
Cool.
I would like to say that that shows that's a great opportunity to open up an internship for a marketing. Crystal, being that you have a great expertise, we will open up an internship for a person in marketing, and
Yeah.
that would give them
Great
give
idea.
them a
I'm looking
stipend.
for someone to really
Uh,
work with.
yeah, so I think that's what we can do. We put together a posting, an internship, a marketing position to help train. If we post it and make it like a real position, I think they'll feel really good about being. It's a privilege to be able to
Yeah.
assume that role.
Mhm.
Yeah, we gotta
That's a great
a
idea.
person. I love doing marketing, but I want somebody that also have well, of course, to train someone up, and then someone with some that's what they do too. You know what I mean? You
Right.
know, just to strengthen us. Well, whatever will make it stronger. You know,
Right.
someone that's what they do. You know what I mean?
They do,
Yeah,
do.
they do.
Well, you know, I have a goal that we probably won't be able to move forward with it this summer, but next summer, I want us to have our summer youth program in place for job placement. Sister
Okay.
Edith, I noticed your area workforce. So that's a goal of this program that we're going to have within the spiritual church and its army. We're going to have jobs available for our youth for the summer.
Okay.
And if it's just working at the local temples or working in their community or whatever the case is, and be able to pay them for their services. Internships are great. It's a great way to get started, and we can put together a few of those, whatever. But you know, I like to pay people for their services, and if we can set it up and get it going, that is the goal for next year, to hire our youth for the summer. Okay. Anyone else? All right. Well, if we have no other questions, concerns, or whatever, hit me up on the side if you need to. Thank you all so much for attending our first meeting. And this meeting is going on record. Reverend Derek, can you take a picture of all of us? And I'd like for everyone to get on camera for a moment so that we all can be visible and see the name behind the the person behind the picture, behind the name, so that they'll know who we all are.
Mhm.
Well, we have two more than, Sister Janae, can you turn on
Yeah.
your camera, please?
Trying to find my life first. Hold on.
Where's Elder Ken? Elder Ken in the background there?
He's here, but let me change the name to Kenneth and Bianca.
Oh, okay. I didn't see him. That's why I asked.
Glasses.
Oh, you know what?
It's a blur. She got the blurry thing
He's
on.
Take that off.
blurred.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
blurred.
It's easy for him to get lost anyway. So
Boy, I tell you, that uncle and nephew relationship is something else. So remember, guys, I'm going to be emailing to you all the bylaws again, please, let me know your thoughts. If you have any ideas, whatever, it's just a draft and a shell. Even though it's populated with some information, it's just a draft so that we can confirm what our bylaws will be going forward. And I can present that to the King and Bishop Beavers in the assembly, Reverend Derek and I. Okay, so I thank you all again. And who's going to pray us out if no one else haven't?
Pam, I'd just like to add that we are also starting or experimenting with event reports. That
Yes.
that after each event that you fill out a report, it tells how many youth were involved, how many adults were involved, what were your expenses, how much you made, what went well, what you would do different next time, were there any security issues, so we can have all this stuff on record. So as we expand, we can point to some of these things of how many young people are involved in YOP, and also have it on record so that we all can learn from maybe a mistake that somebody else has made. Especially with the part about what we would do different. We can learn, and we don't always have to put our hand on the stove to know it's hot.
Right.
We can just use those things as reference.
Yep, and that's something that we're gonna filter out to the other YLP presidents. We also, thanks to Reverend Mother Bianca for helping us craft our field trip consent forms, and also for photos, because we know that not every parent wants their child photographed. So we were able to put that together for the field trip that number one had Sister Janae and them. They took them roller skating. And at first, Reverend Derek and I, we was like, well, do we really need it? And then when we spoke to Reverend Bianca, she said, yeah, we need it. So thank you for that advice. And we created it. And this is something that we like to use going forward. And we're filtering it down to the other YLP. If they have any field trips that they're going on, if they're taking any pictures or whatever the case is, we need to get the parents' consent. We're also looking to incorporate YOP under the umbrella of the insurance that we carry at our local temples. I know most of the temples are under, I forgot the name of the insurance, but Elder James Latham was the lead in getting all those temples under the umbrella. So we're also looking to add a rider to cover YOP, which will cover for what Reverend Bianca set us up for, the consent forms and stuff like that, and just cover us. We may have, because not only what we talked about extending out our tutoring program to youth outside of Israel, but we want to make sure that we're covered so that in case anything should come back to us, we wouldn't be held liable. Although, we will have some coverage there. So we're working on setting all of that up. This is all part of our structuring to make sure that we're compliant. And it's very important that we move forward legally and in compliance. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So again, Jeremiah, anything you want to say? Update us on your junior deacons. You're doing a great job with having your service at the junior at Ypsilanti Temple on Wednesdays. If you guys haven't heard, support them, but they start a little earlier. So whenever I tune in, I always get to the preaching part. I'm like, I missed the youth. But you guys starting at, is it 6:30?
Yeah, we start at 6:30.
Yeah, so we want to support our junior deacons every other, tell us about it.
First Wednesday of the month at Ypsilanti, 6:30 service.
Right, and they get the communication out. If you can join to support our junior deacons, put our junior deacons on and let them enjoy and talking. Again, getting them used to speaking in public will help them in the long run. So anything else you want to share with us about the junior deacons? Trustee?
That's why I did with them this past Wednesday. I had them speak about what they wanted to do in the Spirit Church and His Army as they get older. And then I asked them what they wanted to do outside of the Spirit Church and His Army, like as far as when they grow up. That was with the younger GD, the older ones like Stephanol and Jeremiah, Malik, and all of them. They went further in depth about what they want to do as far as a career. Like I told the parents, I don't need them always speaking about the lesson and the scriptures. We need them to be comfortable enough to speak in front of people outside of the Spirit Church and His Army, and to learn how to carry a conversation without being scared or timid for them to speak to an adult.
Right.
But like I told them, I'm also getting ready to do trips for all the junior deacons here in Michigan. I wanted to do something for the General Assembly, but the Tigers would not be playing because I was going to take them all to the Tigers game. Because speaking of Bishop Beavers and Elder Jordan, the two churches are willing to help me, get the tickets and things like that because the junior deacons don't have an account. So, it's just things like that. And Bishop Bobby has given me free reign to do what I need to do for the junior deacons. So, I'm just basically taking it one step at a time, but also getting feedback from the young men as well as the parents on what can be better for them. So, keep them tuned in service and be feeling like they're part of the service, because a lot of them have said to me that they don't have no job to do in church. They just want them to sit there and be quiet. But so Brother Wells, he done started teaching them how to play the piano, drums, bass at Ypsilanti.
Right.
A lot of people, a lot of parents are starting to take their children out there to learn how to play instruments. So that's where we at right now with the young men. So.
Yeah. That's great. And we want everyone to know that we're waiting. I'm waiting to get our EIN number, and the EIN number can be used for any event, tax exemption throughout the organization. Okay, so once we get that in my hands, I'm going to communicate it to you all, and you all are welcome to use our EIN number when you need to go out into the world to get any donations, any whatever, so that we can be tax exempt, so we don't have to pay those taxes for these events or whatever the case is. So we'll be able to share that number, because all of the churches are included under the umbrella. We only have to do a separate registration in each state if we set up an additional building. Like if we were to get an assigned, what y'all laughing at? Just the three of them are laughing. I don't know what they laughing at.
Uncle Joe's head is covering that earth. It looks like an eclipse. I thought the solar eclipse wasn't until next month. So that's
y'all stupid. But I lost my train of thought.
I'm not from here. That's all.
Yeah, so unless we have a different building that we're looking to set up as a YOP building, we will not have to register in that individual state. Okay, so eventually we love to have these buildings for our youth or whatever. That'll be down the road. But right now, all you have to do is use our EIN number, and you'll be able to get the tax exemption that you need. Okay. All right. So again, thank you all. I'll be reaching out.
Crystal got a hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Come on, baby.
Okay, because I really I'd like to see us do a membership drive, a really big membership drive, to really get Israel's children the world over involved in YOP. Like a membership drive, like pushing to get them to want to participate, know what it's all about, make some packets and some marketing materials to get people interested in it. That's what I typically used to do, to get them excited about upcoming topics, things like that. But a membership drive is what I'd really like to see happen.
Okay.
Huge membership drive, a big membership drive, like big membership drive. I mean, even if it's like going to the different temples and let them know, hey, we're coming. We're coming because we want them to know that we care about every child in Israel. No one's going to be left behind. Right. If we're going to be real, we got to be real within first, and then draw in the community in ways for whatever services that we're going to offer. Right. Just I wanted a real packet, a real deal.
Okay. Yep, definitely
Okay.
something that we can, a future goal of ours that we can, or a near future goal, you know,
Membership
a
drive.
short-term goal, a short-term,
That's right.
short-term goal for
We
sure.
do a membership drive.
Yep,
Yeah.
you're right.
So
Yep.
I
Because,
get my
as far as our, our workshops, I know a lot of the children, they may not want to get on Zoom or whatever the case because they've been traumatized from having to be forced to use Zoom during COVID or whatever. But it's real important, for them to get together and tap into our workshops that we do on a supreme level, and then being able to offer it to the local levels. So we want you guys to encourage your youth to tune in because they're really learning. They're really, I think that is a good tool for them. If they're not doing anything, your parents can just put them on. They don't have to sit there with them. They can just put them on, make sure that they are on, and I think that is very beneficial to them. So, Reverend Derek, did you take a picture of all of us?
Not yet.
Oh, Janae, you got to come back, baby. Right quick.
I think it would be really cool to do like a
Man,
TikTok.
I thought you Ben took the picture. Come on, what are you doing?
Well, I didn't get a chance to say cheese yet.
I'm not smiling.
All right. All right. On three. Everyone say YOP for life.
What?
1, 2, 3. YOP
YOP for
IOP for
life.
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 All right. All right. There's a smile from Ricardo. We got it. That's a cool smile. That quarter smile. Yep. That's a cool
Guys,
smile.
I wanted to say one more thing.
That's
And I
the Duncan smile.
I know you sit. I was just saying, you sitting there looking like your grandfather. Poof.
It's one more thing. Don't cry.
I know.
Oh my God, don't cry.
We've been crying all day.
Do not cry. Do not cry. We just have to make sure that we do things that the youth that they do socially. Like they do TikTok. They do things like that. So like TikTok, videos or whatever. Who can
Instagram.
make the best one, whatever. It's just stuff like that. That's their generation. We have to do social things that their generation that'll draw them in.
Right. Well, that's why the board that we have created is very generational, because we have Tamaris, who is our youngest member, and I really, really invited him to help us to pull in and connect with our youth and keep us connected, all the way up to Sister Edith. I'm not trying to point you out, but
she's our wisdom.
Yes, she brings the wisdom and experience. This lady right here has bukus of experience in job market and in the workforce field. She ran the job market and the workforce for the state of Michigan. And so she brings that knowledge, and then we got everybody in between. So I'm just really thankful and very happy of the board that we've put together. And I thank you all again. And it's for our babies, as Elder Alvin say. Our babies are what's most important, and we have to make sure that it's our responsibility to pour into them and give back to them and give them opportunity to experience life and prosperity, and show them that they don't have to be destitute. They don't have to get out there on drugs. They don't have to get out there and be homeless. No, that's not what the God of Israel wants for our youth. So we all are in a position where we can give back, and that's why you've been selected, because you're in a position to give back. And I just thank the God of Israel for your wisdom, and I look forward to working with you all as we continue on with this program. So, who's volunteering to pray us out? Sister Edith, did you want to say something? Oh, okay. We have a volunteer for our closing prayer.
Crystal got her hand up.
No.
She never took her hand down. Look at her. Baby, are you cold? Tell Kenneth to give you some heat. Turn that heat up in the house.
I'm on the lanai.
Excuse me, darling.
I'm in my little happy space.
Okay, yeah, and you
yellow.
decorated it so beautiful too.
I love doing that. It was fun.
Yeah. So do we have a volunteer to pray us out? All right, well then y'all don't want to volunteer. I'm going to our baby of the bunch. Oh, who's that?
I'll do it.
Okay. All right, come on, Reverend B.
Yes, Reverend B. Amen.
You know what? I'm so sorry, but my settings changed on my laptop, and I did not get that picture. So Janae, just come back real quick.
Oh man.
Reverend Derek.
No, I was sitting there looking for it. I was like, where'd it go?
All my facial features. I don't not want to get back on camera.
Come on, I just need one quick one.
I'm gonna take it and make sure we get it.
Right. I don't know when I had to start pressing the Windows key. Come on, Janae.
I'm gonna screenshot.
I'm already crusty.
Joe, put your eyelashes back on.
There you go.
Joe.
Fantastic. You
Joe,
ready?
put your eyelashes back on before you take the picture. Put your eyelashes back on.
That's all right. That's all right.
There we go. I'm getting a whole bunch. There we go. Fantastic. All right.
YOP for life.
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on, y'all. Wait.
You're gonna have to fix that mic.
Get your wig. Get your wig.
No, wait.
Joe, your legs front crooked. Your legs front crooked.
Y'all stupid. Leave my husband alone, you nephews.
Hey, just take it off, Uncle Joe. Just take it off.
I want him to get his wig. I want him to get his wig right. Your wig is crooked.
All right. Stay crazy. But that's what we got to have fun. That's what life is all about. Enjoying life every moment, because we don't know the next moment where it could be taken away. So, laughter is good. It helps the soul. So,
Derek, you get the picture?
Yeah, I got some good ones. I got some good ones. All right. Fantastic.
All right. So we're going to Reverend B now. Reverend B.
All right. So let's get serious and bring our minds in, and so that we can close out in a good, heartfelt prayer from Reverend Bride Mother Bianca.
Truly, I rise to give honor to the Holy Father, King of all Israel, just thanking you this evening, Heavenly Father, for this anointed meeting, the kickoff of the 501c3, for the youth outreach program, going 31 years strong now. We're standing on the vision. We're standing on the seeds of our ancestors. And just as we are all here to live, to witness now another Black woman making it into a great position, highest of the land, we are all standing on shoulders of others that came before us and planting seeds for those that are coming behind us. And as we keep the door open and as we go forth on a vision and try to create something great, I ask you to just renew our minds, as the theme says, renew our energy, bind us together, give us time, allow us to move in the right season, allow us to do things at God's speed, not our speed, in God's time, in God's season, and for God's reason. Let's evict anything that is not of you. Let's bring in love, connectivity, open spiritedness, a teamwork, and a spirit of unity, so that we can lead by example, from the smallest to the greatest, from the youngest to the eldest. I see a board of wonderful people, and I am in good company. And I thank you for each and every soul under the sound of my voice, and everyone connected to every household under the sound of my voice. Thank you for allowing us the heart space, the time, and just making it important enough to be here. Thank you for the vision of Bride Mother Pam to bring us all together, and for each and every soul. It's so late on the East Coast. We thank you for the servant hearts here that thought it important enough to stay up to serve our children and to pour into generations to come. We thank you. We thank you. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Wow. Thank you, Reverend B. That was awesome. That was awesome. So appropriate.
Yes, thank you all. Before we disconnect, Tamaris, I recorded our session, and I'll send you a copy of the recording so you can craft your notes.
Oh, I already
Based
have
off,
those done for you.
you know.
That's what I've been doing. I sent you. I shared it with you. I shared the document.
Oh, thank you,
Wow.
sweetie. I
Yeah.
appreciate it, boy.
Eh,
That's our next president, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Thank,
was
thank,
invited to
If
be
yeah,
there at the
If
White House.
Joel don't
yeah,
make it,
yeah,
he's gonna be our next president. So
yeah,
we
yeah.
okay.
Thank you,
I know.
I'm not
nephew.
saying if he don't make it, but I'm saying if he's not placed in that position, or even Jimmy, because Jimmy is going on that road as well. But we're
Right.
pouring into you, baby, to help you
Yeah,
move you forward in Washington. We need more of us
yeah,
there to help them create these laws and combat segregation and racial barriers that's been set up by these Republicans. And if there's any Republicans on, I mean the white ones that don't, if we have any Republicans on with us, I mean
I'm
even the
Republican.
black ones,
I'm
they
I voted
need to
for
Republican.
have a
Trump.
change of heart. They need to have a change of
I
heart.
voted for
So,
Trump.
huh?
I
What is
voted for
that?
Trump.
You voted for Trump,
Lord, Lord,
boy.
What's
Lord.
wrong with y'all?
Yeah, okay. Well,
Mm.
I'm a
But I want to, but
I'm gonna
I just
cut you
want to
off
say,
from your inheritance.
I want to say to our own Reverend, to my nephew, Reverend Tamaris, just grateful that you
Yeah.
have decided to be a part with all these older people. This is where greatness is born when you're young and you hang around people older to learn, absorb, and give input. That's the only reason why I'm where I've been. I have always made myself available around older people. And that's how I got those elevations because these older people put faith in me and trusted me. And you are, by you dedicated being here tonight, man, you building trust for people to trust you with next position. So I'm just really, really just so grateful for you. And what you're doing is so bigger than I hope you see
Yes,
what you're
yes,
doing. I hope you see where you're going. And I think
Mhm.
Edith could speak to that,
yeah,
from that level,
yes,
right?
yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
All
Mm-hmm.
right.
mm.
All right.
Oh, before I forget,
Yes,
the
ma'am.
other thing that Bishop Edwards said was to make sure that we have the children do the pledge.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I had never.
Come on. Oh, we lost you.
Oh, you muted
Yep.
yourself.
Yep. Open your mic back up there. Satan is a lie. The
I hit
devil's
the
a lie.
space bar. Yeah, but he did say that. He said to have them do the pledge also before, the service is turned over to the deacon or trustee in charge. So I wanted to make sure I said that because I think that's very important too.
Yes, thank you. We used to do that in Manhattan. Elder Joe, our daughters, even created a song off of the pledge and prayer. And Sister Reverend Elder Marion, she said, "Y'all can't do that. Y'all can't take the Sunday school pledge and turn it into a song." But we had a good song that they created. So yes, that is something that we want the youth to get used to it and learn it by heart. That's why we incorporate it into our workshop at the beginning. And that is something that you could tell Bishop Ken that we will make sure that we filter down to the other churches as well. So yes.
Well, I'm the member that you're always going to have to tell what the rules are because I break them all the time.
Because you're a rebel.
I
But
am.
You're a good one though. You're a good
I'm
rebel.
a rebel and I am. I hear from a different thing. I move in a different way. And you will have to tell me. It won't be disrespectful. Just God will give me something. And I believe it's going to be for the benefit of the program and what we're doing. Because this is about the children and drawing them in. I'm a rebel. So you will have to tell me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amen.
No disrespect. But you have to say, look, that's not a rule.
Sometimes you have to reel her back in.
Yeah,
I'm like, come here, girl. Come back in here.
What is that? That God gave me this idea. This is gonna work, and I will stick to it. And I have to be reminded. That's just
all
me.
right. Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
All right, because I don't want y'all to say that I held y'all longer.
All right. I'm gonna say good night.
Good night.
All right.
I
Everyone
love
have
you
a
guys.
blessed week. And stay tuned for when we'll have our next meeting, which probably won't be until after after the assembly as we gear up for the General Assembly. So remember, get those suggestions and recommendations back to me by the weekend so that I can have a final copy to take with me to the assembly. Have a great week. Love you all. Peace.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Grace and peace.